This is WWE The Big Show. KC the Most, he is your host. You better listen, you might learn something.
What's up? This is your boy KC. Raw is 3 hours. You expect us to sit through half of a roster for 3 hours? You know what grinds my gears, man? What the hell? Pokemon. This Pokemon Go app that everybody is into. It's making people lose their minds, making people stupid. It's that time of the week again. Time for another top 10. Anime otakus, it's that time again. Video game portion of my show. Jarek. This guy is a straight up Kano clone. He has all of Kano's moves. Dragon Ball debunked. The wrestling match of the week. The game of the week, is it worth it? The anime of the week, is time to talk about some more Dragon Ball Super. Like, comment, and subscribe. What's up? It's your boy KC. It's time to talk about some more Dragon Ball. Now, I love Dragon Ball through and through. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball Super. And I never liked GT, you guys know that. But there's something that's always bothered me ever since we got to Dragon Ball Z, specifically starting with Frieza. And there's too many transformations in these series. They're all guilty of it. Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super. I just feel like it's very old and it's very predictable. Now, I love the series like I just said, but I'm telling y'all, this is something that I've noticed over the years, that they keep going back to the same plot point to make villains stronger and even the good guys stronger. I'm like, why can't they just rely on their actual strength and what they have right then and there to win this fight? That was one of the things that made Dragon Ball so cool, is that Goku did not have any transformations other than the Ozaru. He won all his fights based off his strength. He fought and he trained to get stronger, to fight the villains and defeat them. And it's the same thing for the villains in Dragon Ball. The Red Ribbon Army didn't have any transformations back then, at least. This is before we got to the androids and cyborgs in Dragon Ball Z. But back then, they were just a group of guys trying to give Goku a hard time. Piccolo Daimao, he didn't have any transformations, he just wished to be younger from the dragon. He fought Goku on skill alone. Tao Pai Pai beat the crap out of Goku using his fighting skills. That was the things that made Dragon Ball so interesting, to see what Goku was gonna do and Krillin was gonna do to beat their foes. There were no transformations to push them along further in power. And that's why I like Dragon Ball more than the other series. And it all started with Frieza, because I'm not going to count Vegeta because it's part of his DNA to become the Great Ozaru. He is a Saiyan after all. Goku used it back in Dragon Ball, fair enough. So I'm not counting Vegeta. Frieza was the one who started the whole transformation thing. And even though I thought it was cool because it was something that has never been done before in the world of Dragon Ball up to that point, I think Team 4-Star got it right when he said,
"But I have one that's nice, fresh, and ripe for abuse. Transformation. And spoiler warning, it's not getting old anytime soon."
And they were so right. And even the Dragon Ball Z movies, excluding movie 1, Dead Zone, movie 2, World's Strongest, movie 3, Tree of Might, movie 4, Lord Slug, movie 6, The Return of Cooler, movie 11, Bio Broly, and movie 13, Wrath of the Dragon. All the other Dragon Ball Z movies included villains that transformed, that made them a hell of a lot stronger than Goku and the other Z fighters. They get the crap kicked out of them until Goku uses the predictable ending of using the Genki Dama to kill his foes in a lot of those movies. And then here comes Cell and his transformations, but at least Cell's transformations have some story and plot points to it. Dr. Gero designed Cell specifically to absorb Cyborg 17 and 18 to become the ultimate android. That is why he was created. So that makes sense, not to mention a lot of his transformations are cool. So that's cool. But by the time we get to the Majin Buu saga, it's just out of control. Now I pose a question to you viewers. Do you consider what Buu was going through absorbing Gohan, absorbing Goten's Piccolo, and the Kais? Do you consider those to be transformations? I consider them to be transformations, even though it is absorption. But when Buu absorbs his opponents, he does change. His voice changes, his mentality changes, his facial features changes, his clothes changes, his body changes. Go back to when he absorbed the Kais, that's how he became Fat Buu in the first place. So he does change. So let me know what you guys think. And just like Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT is full of transformations as well. Look at Baby. Now even though Baby himself can't transform. He can use other people's bodies and manipulate other people's bodies to transform. And he did it with Vegeta. He took over Vegeta's body and he was able to attain 3 different transformations, including the Golden Ozaru and Super 17. Even though I consider that to be both a fusion and a transformation, because Hellfighter 17 and C-17 fuse, they do get bigger, their clothes changes, their appearance does change, so I consider that to be a transformation. But at least they gave us a bit of a break in the Shadow Dragon arc, but you still have 2 transformations there, Oceanus Shenlong and Sen Shenlong, aka Omega Dragon Shenlong. They have transformations. And the heroes are guilty too, because look at how many forms we've seen Son Goku go through. He's had SSJ Grade 1, he's had Super Saiyan 2, SSJ 3, SSJ 4 for those who counted GT, you have SSJ God, SSJ Blue, and now we have Ultra Instinct. Now some people consider that to be a transformation, some people don't. I fall on the side of it not being a transformation because it's still Goku in his base form. Even though his eyes changed, his aura changed, it's still base Goku to me. It's just that Goku has reached that pinnacle of self-enlightenment to where his movements are fluid like water. You know the Bruce Lee theory?
Empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. Put it into a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or creep or drip or crash. Be water, my friend.
And I would say the same thing for Piccolo, because I don't consider Namekian assimilation as a transformation, because it's not. They pick a host, the host being Piccolo, because it's still Piccolo with Kami's memories and his knowledge, and it's the same for Nail. Now when it comes to Gohan, for years I always thought that the Ultimate/Mystic form was not a transformation, because Elder Kai unlocked his potential and Gohan became so powerful that he no longer needed the SSJ1 or SSJ2 forms. But after watching Dragon Ball Super episode 88, they hinted at the fact that the ultimate form is a transformation, because it's something that Gohan has to power up into. Like transforming into a SSJ1, SSJ2, Gohan has to power up into that form. So I guess it is a transformation. They pretty much threw that out there for us. Who would have thought? Now Dragon Ball Super has its fair share of transformations as well, even though it may not be as much as GT and Z, with Goku and Vegeta becoming Super Saiyan God Blues. We got Kale, Kaba, and Caulifla, even though I thought it was extremely rushed and I didn't think they trained nearly hard enough to attain the SSJ1 form, SSJ2, and SSJ Berserk. They got their new forms, guys like Frost, which makes sense because he's a part of Frieza's race. It would make sense why he can do that. But they did take a step back, and it was a huge breath of fresh air to see guys like Jiren and Hit come along, because they have no transformations. They fought Goku on skill and abilities alone, and those are my 2 favorite fights in the series so far, because it was extremely cool to see them step back from that contrived concept of transformation to actually see them fight. My whole point to this video is, even though I love the Dragon Ball fights, I like the Dragon Ball Z fights, and I even like some fights from GT. Don't get me wrong, I don't like GT at all, I hate it. But they did have some good fights. Goku against Legic, Goku against Oceanus Shenlong, when they was fighting in the tornadoes and stuff like that. I didn't even know Goku could do that, but it was a cool fight. I wish it went a little bit longer. I enjoyed Goku's fight against Nova Shenlong. I enjoyed his fight against Omega Dragon Shenlong. So there are some good, decent fights in GT. I will give it a little bit of a break. And for the most part, I like all of the fights in Dragon Ball Super. I just wish that the Dragon Ball team would be a little more creative when it comes to these fights. Because especially when you see a Goku fight or Vegeta fight, it becomes extremely predictable, because you know that 85% of the time somebody's getting a new transformation. And I don't want to go into these Dragon Ball fights already having that in mind, because I want to be surprised. I want to see something new. That's why I enjoy Hit. That's why I enjoy Jiren. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. This is your boy KC. Like, comment, and subscribe. I'll check you out later. Peace.